Hey everyone, hello, hello. So, there has always been a fascination with the unseen, the hidden forces that shape reality beyond what we can touch or measure. Across cultures and centuries, people have whispered about magic, not just as fantasy, but as a force of intention, will, and energy. But not all magic is viewed the same. Some call it healing, others call it dangerous. Some see it as divine, and others see it as forbidden. Today, we're exploring one of the most debated distinctions in the spiritual world: white magic versus black magic. What separates them? Is one truly good and the other truly evil, or is the truth far more complex? Let's begin with the most common understanding. White magic is often described as the use of spiritual or energetic practices for healing, protection, and positive transformation. It is rooted in benevolence, helping others, restoring balance, and aligning with higher spiritual principles. In contrast, black magic is typically associated with harm, control, and manipulation. It involves influencing outcomes or people in ways that serve the practitioner's ego, often at the expense of another's well-being. At first glance, the distinction seems simple. One heals, the other harms. But as we go deeper, the lines begin to blur. The most important difference between white and black magic comes down to one word: intent. White magic is driven by the desire to heal, protect, uplift, or guide. Think of practices like energy cleansing, spiritual protection rituals, or intentions for emotional healing. Black magic, on the other hand, is fueled by control, revenge, or selfish gain. This includes curses, hexes, or attempts to manipulate another person's choices or their fate. But here's the real question. If two people use the same ritual, but with different intentions, are they practicing different forms of magic? Many practitioners would say yes, because in this worldview, intention shapes the energy. White magic often operates within a defined ethical framework. One of the most well-known is the idea, do no harm. This principle emphasizes respect for others' free will and the natural flow of life. It encourages practitioners to act as co-creators with the universe, not controllers of it. Black magic, however, is often described as ignoring or rejecting these ethical boundaries. Instead of harmony, it seeks domination. Instead of alignment, it seeks control. And this brings us to one of the deepest philosophical divides. Is it ever acceptable to interfere with someone else's path, even if you believe your reason is justified? Another key distinction lies in what each path is believed to draw upon. White magic is often associated with higher spiritual energies, concepts like divine guidance, angelic force, or the natural elements of earth, air, fire, and water. It's seen as aligned with universal harmony. Black magic, in contrast, is commonly linked to lower or denser energies, sometimes described as malevolent entities, chaotic forces, or destructive vibrations. But not everyone agrees with this framing. Some believe that energy itself is natural, like electricity. It can power a hospital or a weapon. The difference lies not in the energy, but in how it is used. This brings us to another important contrast: harmony versus manipulation. White magic is said to work with the natural flow of the universe. It's about alignment, not force. Think of it like planting a seed and nurturing its growth. Black magic, however, is often described as trying to bend reality to one's will, to force outcomes, override choice, or disrupt another person's path. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. How often, even in everyday life, do people try to influence others, subtly, emotionally, or psychologically? At what point does influence become manipulation? And at what point does intention cross an ethical line? So now we arrive at the most controversial idea of all: the gray area. Many modern practitioners reject the strict division between white and black magic altogether. They argue that there is no inherently good or evil magic, only intent and consequence. In this view, protection spells can be seen as defensive or aggressive. Love spells can be seen as romantic or manipulative. Even healing could interfere with someone's karmic path, depending on belief systems. So, instead of labeling magic itself, the focus shifts to personal responsibility. What are your intentions? What are the consequences? And are you respecting the autonomy of others? Not all belief systems accept this distinction at all. In many religious traditions, particularly within Christianity, all forms of magic are viewed as problematic regardless of intent. From this perspective, seeking supernatural influence outside of divine authority is seen as spiritually dangerous or improper. So, while some spiritual paths divide magic into black and white, others reject the entire framework altogether. So where does this leave us? Is white magic truly pure? Is black magic inherently corrupt? Or are both simply reflections of the human mind, our desires, fears, and intentions projected into the unseen? Maybe the real question isn't about magic at all. Maybe it's actually about power, how we use it, and why we seek it, and whether we choose to act with compassion or control. Because in the end, whether you believe in magic or not, one truth remains: intent shapes outcome. So, if you enjoyed this video, share it with someone who's curious about the unseen side of life. And remember, not everything powerful is visible. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.